Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Helium, từ trên Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Alright, what's up guys? This video is going to be on the Adtactix Autopilot, and we're going to be going over some advanced features that we haven't covered yet. Before I get into that though, we do have a new kind of guide in the members area. If you're watching this as part of the Autopilot challenge, you'll see it here alongside the other training videos. There'll just be a download link there. Once you click on that, you'll be able to save it into your Google Drive, and it's going to basically walk through the 5 steps that you need to do in order to optimize your bids. The main section we're going to be talking about in this video is more of the advanced and kind of optional features, which is this step 2. So I'm not going to go over this in this video because it's all right here and it's really straightforward. So I'm just going to go and import my bulk file. All right, you're going to choose insert new sheet, import data, and then for the search query performance in the rank report, I'm just going to go down and verify that I've got these 2 checked, which I do. All right, now I'm going to go up, and as long as I have those files saved in the right directory, I can just come up here to import supplemental data. All right, and obviously you could have done, you can download and import multiple, product files and rank files in one run. I've just got an example here of kind of one ASIN. But once you have that supplemental data and then your new bulk file imported, all you do is come up here, click sync all data, and that just kind of sets up the system. And once that's done, you'll get this prompt, just hit OK. Now you're pretty well ready to rock if you want to use the basic operations. So if we come over here now, you'll see when I say basic operations, you're able to use Autopilot along with all the gray columns here, which are the standard PPC kind of performance metrics. And you could use that right now as is, but if you want to add the additional functionality of the search query performance in your rank fields, you do need to come up here and do one more thing. So you're going to click import, and actually at this step, if you do want to remove any of your negatives, so if you don't need them kind of in the optimization session you're using, it may be smart to either remove the negatives or the paused campaigns. That'll just make things run a lot faster and allow you to kind of navigate around Google Sheets a little bit quicker. So it kind of depends on how big your bulk file is, how much data you have stored in there, and then what kind of your goal is and what you're needing to do. But know that that's there and that you can deploy that at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and click Add Boosted Columns. So this is the new feature that's going to allow us to, you can see there, it's going to add some additional columns there to our bulk files. It's also going to allow us to use these columns as thresholds in the Autopilot dashboard. All right, you'll get a prompt there, just hit OK. So now you can see in actually all 3 of these tabs, I think I've only got sponsored products data in this test file, but you can see that the columns actually get populated, and this would be applicable in sponsored brands if you have like, sponsored brands video or headline search ads. Display, it's not going to be as applicable because there you'd only have the ASIN targeting or the audience targeting. So the sponsored products, sponsored brands are probably going to be where you utilize this the most, with sponsored products being by far the most. So, but you can see it gives you some columns here. So I'll cover these one by one. So organic rank is going to be your most recent rank. So if I click on this, you'll see I've got rank positions, and these are from the Helium 10 file. Again, go and reference the Autopilot guide there for how to download and import that data, but it's pretty simple. So this is going to be your most recent rank from that Helium 10 data. The organic rank 2 is going to be 5 days ago. So in our training, we recommend doing like a 5-day window as far as the download. So then it gives you a kind of progress if your rank is going in the right direction or wrong direction. And then this rank trend, you're going to either have a 1 or a 2. So a 1 means it's going in the right direction. A 2 means it's progressing in the wrong direction. So that'll be useful for assigning thresholds. SP is sponsored rank. Helium 10 search volume is this one. So you can see we've pulled in the search volume for anything we're tracking rank on. Again, you'll be able to use that here in a minute for rank, or for Autopilot thresholds rather. Similarly, we've got the search query performance, search volume. We've got the search query performance score. You've got your impression share, click share, purchase share, your purchase count as governed by the ASIN search query performance report. The total purchase count, this is going to be of the market. And then likewise, this is going to be your conversion rate versus the market conversion rate. And then this last field, you can't quite see the title, but it says CVR trend. So like the rank trend, a 1 means your conversion rate is better than the market's. A 2 means the market's is better than yours. So that'll be useful here when we assign thresholds as well. So now the concept really to understand is you have all of these gray columns here that you can now use as autopilot thresholds, along with now we have some additional functionality to segment by match types. You can do portfolios, which your portfolio name is right here. You can do campaign names, and you can even do target level overrides, which are over here. And you can even do ASINs. So you've got a lot of functionality here that we've got built into this new version, and you're really set up to go now. So that's pretty much the process that the guide here will cover, and it's got screenshots for step-by-step instructions. So we've downloaded, imported the file, we've set our system up for the Helium 10 rank data. You know, we added those boosted columns, we synced the data, so now we're ready to use the dashboard and set up some examples here. So I'm not going to get too crazy with examples because really it can vary widely depending on your niche, your strategy, and then you know how big of a data nerd you are. But I've already seen some crazy bid sequences that users have been sending me. I've just got kind of the generic template that comes here in the blank template, and then I've added a couple here to kind of illustrate this new functionality. So I'm going to do just a couple quick examples. Let me make this a little bit smaller. All right, hopefully you can see that. So you can also download the guide here from this link up at the top right as well. But anyway, the new columns, you click this little plus button up here and the boosted thresholds are going to expand. So you can see the orange columns here are related to the Helium 10 rank data. You've also got the Helium 10 search volume there. Then you've got all your green search query performance related thresholds as well. The headers, you can hover over each one. It's going to give you a brief description as well as kind of what the acceptable operators you can do, like the and. Just make sure you've got a space. So this right now is saying if our organic rank is in between essentially position 1 and 15 and our Helium 10 search volume is showing greater than 300, I'm going to, in this case, just set the bid to $1. So go back and watch some previous training videos to get a better understanding of all of these kind of formulas and adjustments, but basically got some basic adjustments here, and then you've got some bid formulas. This one here is a kind of new slant on the modified bid CPC formula. So what this one's saying is if the modified bid taken into account the CPC from column AL here, if that ends up calculating to be less than the current bid that we're bidding, then we're going to actually increment it up by a fixed amount. So you can see an example down here in the next row where I'm utilizing this. And in this one, I'm saying I want to apply this rule for anything over organic rank 15, but where my conversion rate coming from the search query performance is better. If you recall, the number 1 means our conversion rate's better than the market's. So you can really see the power of being able to assign all of these variables with kind of an and operator to where you're able to really kind of manipulate your targets and deploy the strategy you want. So basically what this kind of scheme is saying is deploy these first 2 rows here first. And if you recall from the previous training, row 1 is gonna fire before row 2, and then so on and so forth, working your way down. So you just want to make sure you've got kind of a unique rule number, and then you've got the ones you want to apply first at the top, and then kind of cascade down. So really the easiest way to learn this, if you haven't played around with it yet, is just to kind of import your data and go ahead and just click the run button and just let it run. It's not gonna do anything that you can't reverse, you know, or you can run sequential runs and tweak things as you go. It's just kind of the best way to figure things out and to get an idea of what's going on. So Click on that, and then it's going to just take a few seconds here, and you'll see it updates the statistics over here. So these are all of the enabled targets that got impacted by your rules. So it's basically saying 14 sponsor products targets met this criteria and should have been changed to a bid of value 1. So what you can do to confirm that, just go over to your sponsored products campaigns, and I'm going to just go to the bid rule. So this column slides out when you run that, and I'm just going to click on number 1 there. So I'm going to clear that, show just number 1, and you'll see these are the targets that it was talking about that got impacted. So there's what, 14 targets there, and you can see they all got changed to bid number 1. You can see my rank over here of organic rank less than 15. So you see Helium 10 search volume, it's all over 300. So this is a really good way, just kind of when you're first getting acclimated with the tool, to learn what it's doing. You can kind of guess and check and be like, is that really what I wanted to do? And if it's not, you can always back up and tweak your parameters, rerun it until you really like kind of the cascade of how it impacted all of the different segments and targets. So I don't have, like I said, the sponsored brands or sponsored display data in here in this example, but it would react the exact same way. Essentially with this all ads selected, it's going to impact all 3 ad types. Now, one new functionality we have in this version as well, if you click this plus button here, you're going to see you're going to actually be able to segment out by match type and ad type. So let's pretend on this first one, I actually just wanted to impact the sponsored products exact match. So you can see when I did that, you want to make sure you unselect the all ads, and then you can hide this again, and it changes colors. That just kind of signifies that you do have something selected. But if I rerun this now, just keep an eye on this. So it was 14, and we have, let's see if we have multiple match types. Maybe we don't. Yeah, we have some phrase. We have, okay, so this one will be good. So let's go back, and just to kind of illustrate how this works, I'm just going to rerun it. All right, and watch this number 14. It should change here. So there you go. It changed to 5. So now we'll confirm that. We'll come back over here and we'll check rule number 1 again. So you can see it just changed the exact match, and all those other phrase match then would have gotten kicked down to the next rule, because, you know, the next rule where the criteria was met, which probably would have been, I wasn't paying attention, probably one of the ones down here. So anyway, you can definitely combine and segment things now, probably an infinite number of ways. So it, again, just kind of depends on what your strategy is. Let's take it one step further here just to kind of really drive the point home. And let me see. Okay, these are all in the same portfolio. Let me see if I can cheat it here. So let's call this test. I don't know if this will work or not, but let me just try to let's pretend you had, you know, these in multiple portfolios, and you only wanted to change one of them. There was an exact match. You could do a portfolio override and put in SP test right there. And let's try rerunning this. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I may have messed it up. Hit yes. There we go. So that changed to a value of 1. And that is pretty well hopefully illustrating kind of how things work. And obviously, you know, you can pretty much have an infinite number of rules. So say you wanted to do, say you had branded campaigns in a portfolio, all of these could be tagged as, you know, a portfolio override. Then you could copy these rules, paste them down here. Just make sure you add, you know, additional rule numbers so each one has a unique value. And then basically from that type of scheme, if you, what I'm here, let me just do it. So basically if you did something like this, pasted them down here, and you would just 15, 16, and then say we've got that exact match portfolio or something. All right, so you can basically segment your criteria by any of these override types and by match type. And then, you know, you can have different tiers. So say these first 2 rows are ones we want to focus mainly on, like rank keywords or something like that. You could set up rules that just meet that criteria. And then the next kind of phase would be anything in this sponsor products exact portfolio. Similarly, it could be like branded keywords or whatever. And then the last line of defense is basically everything else that hasn't met a criteria yet. So if we run this, we're going to get a much different kind of cascade effect of results. And this would obviously allow you to change the thresholds up in this portfolio override versus kind of every other target that has not met any of the criteria. So we'll see here in just a second. All right, so there you go. You saw those numbers change. And then you want to keep an eye out here in the no rule target. If you have any values up here, it means you have some targets that are not getting changed. So the easiest way to look into those is if you just hop up to the optimize, go to autopilot rules, and you can review unchanged targets and just click any one of those. I don't have any, so my sponsor product sheet wouldn't show anything, but if you did click that, you could hop over to your sponsor products and it would show the rows that don't meet the criteria. Then you would just have to figure out, which thresholds you need to set in order to modify those. But the only other thing, we've got a notes field we added here. So you can either like right click and you can add notes in the cell. So you got to click on a unique cell to do that. So insert note, or you can use this field to actually type in notes, and you can actually expand this column if you want. So that's just kind of a manual text field. You've also got all the columns out here to the right you can use. Anyway. All right, guys, hope that helps. This tool is getting really powerful. And if you have any feedback or any suggestions, definitely send it out to support. We will be adding some additional kind of campaign and placement optimization functions here soon. But I think it's really coming together. So I'll see you guys on the next training. Cheers.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Helium, từ trên Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.